Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit moon, sextile, or trine, the natal ascendant. Well, anyway, people, first thing I look at, well, when you have this transit, this could give very good equilibrium and balance as far as your emotions go. They're not going to be quite as intense and as opposed to, say, the transit moon conjunct your natal ascendant. And what's good about this too is that you could have positive emotional expression but not necessarily be over emotional and sensitive. It's like when you have this transit, considering, you're talking sextile or trine, which of course is auspicious. It's positive for the emotions in connection with your outer demeanor, your outer characteristics, which of course is the ascendant. Well, it's a way where you can, you're not going to be, you might show sensitivity to others, but not necessarily be overly sensitive to, say, misconstrued, things that are misconstrued, unintentional slights. It's like if you hear something that sounds kind of ambiguous during this transit, but which you think's got a 50-50 chance, so to speak, as far as being either a positive or derogatory remark, or something that might just be generic but not necessarily intended for you, you usually take it in the more positive way during this transit. Now, you can have, some contraindicators. Let's say, for example, that you have transit Jupiter transit Jupiter making an adverse aspect to your natal moon. If that is happening, then you might have some exaggerated emotional responses during this time as well. Or let's say if transit Saturn is making an adverse aspect to your natal moon, this could show where you might take things emotionally a little bit more negatively and really be more despondent and have the and see things more in a negative light. So I think, those are, your emotion in the way you respond might not always be positive. So I think you have to look at, everything and all the transits going on. But this overall is a very good transit, and you might also have greater ability to accomplish things that are moon related, say in matters connected with your home. If you're trying to do something, some activities around there, some actions, this could be a more productive time in doing so and having that physical vitality, which is, the ascendant can be connected with one's vitality, having the solid energy to put forth the tasks necessary to do these home activities. It could also be positive for, let's say, if this is applicable and you're unattached and you're trying to find a significant other, and that significant other you're trying to find is indeed a female or woman, then this could be an auspicious time as well for making that first impression, which is that first impression on one. And also for the mother as well, if applicable, if this could also, especially like, let's say if your situation with your mother had been contentious, this could be a good period for some reconciliation perhaps with her. It could just be a good period in general when you have this transit, when the transit moon is making a sextile or trine to your natal ascendant. And also, this could be positive perhaps for detecting the temperament and moods of others, and you kind of might intuitively know really, what people you can approach during this time and who you may not. And also, I think what's good about this is that, looking at, let's take some examples. Let's say, for example, we're going to talk about this could be auspicious for the public, I should say. If you're in a position where you're connected with the public, let's say that you're doing some door-to-door sales, and let's say you have a Leo ascendant, and let's say you have, the transit is the moon in Libra, and it's making a sextile aspect to your Leo ascendant. Well, this could bring out the positive qualities in both. The Libra can have that emotional need put on the charm, so to speak, and being very tactful and diplomatic in responses. I mean, Moon, of course, reactionary. And with the Leo Ascendant, having the gregariousness and really that self-assuredness and confidence to be able to sell whatever it is you're selling. So it could have a very, I mean, this could be very positive, especially for people that are in a public type environment, or I should say a public position. So also, I think when I look at this too, this is also could be very positive for getting emotional support from others. I mean, this could be really a good time where you can also, I mean, it's positive for any dominant female that may be in your life, the relationship with those people. This could also be something too when you look at this aspect. This is about where you really have very good, I mean, as I stated before, it's really strong about emotional equilibrium, but it could also be about being able to nurture and really giving the sympathy, knowing who to give it to. It's really also about, as far as this transit goes, you could show a compassionate and sympathetic side, but you're also at the same time, because this is a very auspicious transit, that less likely to be exploited by others for a kind disposition or being overly compassionate or sympathetic. Unlike, I mean, if you have like the transit moon making a conjunction to the natal ascendant, that could almost show, you never want to say too much sympathy or compassion, but it could be so much where you might wind up maybe helping the wrong person, or somebody might be taking advantage of that. And I think when you have this more, I mean, a sextile or trine is more positive as opposed to conjunction being more about intensification. The moon, the trine or sextile aspect is very good in that sense, because I think it's less propensity to be taken advantage of. And this could also be good for perhaps, I mean, like I stated, about auspicious for the public, doing things connected with the public if you have that position. Or, I mean, even if you don't have a public-like vocation or position or what have you, it could still be positive for that if you're trying to bring out, I mean, let's say you have the moon transiting Aquarius and it's making a sextile or trine to your natal ascendant. You might be able to go out, and if you have like a new idea or concept or innovation, this could be the ideal time to come out with it at this particular point in time. So, as an example. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the transit moon making a sextile or trine to your natal ascendant. Stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be talking about astrology and serial killers. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.